Hello, everybody. This is Victor Santana at StockHunters.com for Wednesday, October 12th. Here we are looking at the daily chart going back 3 months on the S&P 500. The chart is the ETF symbol SPY, referred to as the SPYs. Okay, here we're looking at this, and as you can see, we had a gap up and a positive day. We went all the way up to the very top and then closed down at this area above yesterday's price. Basically, we had a close of 0.88% on the S&P. Keep in mind we are still under the 100-day moving average, followed by below the 50-day moving average and the 18-day moving average. So they're still lined up on a bearish trend mode. However, the last, I believe it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days now, we've gone straight up. From what I understand, it's about 13%, and we've almost broke above this trend line here that we were following right over here. It did touch it, went above it, and then just pulled right on it. Now, what do we see? Well, we're seeing the RSI is extremely oversold here. Pardon me, overbought, and we are up in this area. The moving average trend line, the red one here, is now looks like getting ready to cross over up in this area. MACD is up in the positive side above the zero line here that we refer as a zero line. However, the green bars, the momentum, is weaning down now. From what I understand, the volume was still very light, so we have to be very cautious here at this point. If we do get another breakout, our target will be right up here. There's going to be a lot of resistance up in this area to contend with, so we'll have to watch and see. Go from there. So for now, we don't have a buy signal to consider shorting as of yet. So let's go ahead and look at the Dow. We're looking at the Dow here. Pretty much the same story, straight up here. It has not broken above this trend line here. It touched it and pulled back. And in case if we do get a positive news, we still can get up to here, the 100-day moving average. However, looking at the RSI, you could see we are still on the overbought area, and the MACD is above the zero line, which is a good thing. But the histogram is now getting smaller and smaller as time goes by. So this is where we just have to keep an eye on this. Let's go to the NASDAQ. Looking at the NASDAQ here, the strongest of them all, has broken above the 100-day line, which we like, and continued up. We did get the red candle here. 0.5% we closed up higher, basically due to the gap up. And based on this trend line here that goes all the way from back here, following up here, it touched it and pulled back. So where can we go from here? Well, if we get this other trend line here, just and put it straight, you could see we have a lot of resistance right in this area. So if we break above it, then we could probably see ourselves going a little bit higher and following this trend line as support. Right now it's being resistance because the trend line is above the price action. Looking at the RSI here, it is telling us it's overbought. The red moving average line is now catching up to cross over the RSI line, so we're anticipating that. MACD is also above the zero line and is now slowly showing a curve. While the momentum is slowing down here, you can see the green bar is getting smaller and smaller. Maybe tomorrow it's going to be flat, or we'll see a red candle if we do get a down day here. And let's go ahead and look at the Russell's 2000, the small caps. And you can see we also had that run up. It's broken up all these trend lines up here, and closed right above it. If it does go back, we could see a potential going down in this area, or worst case scenario, it can go back to retrace this bottom here. But for now, we'll just play what we see. As a trend line here, let's go ahead and put this trend line right here. This is another area where on this high here, so it can potentially go up as high as here to touch in this area. So we'll keep an eye on this here. We do not have a buy signal. We have the setup to short, but we do not have the trigger to consider putting in orders to short. Now let's go ahead and look at the globals here. The globals also, we did get the gap up, went up higher but pulled back down. We do have this little shooting star formation here, usually indicative of a top being in place, just like this one here and this one here. So we're going to have to watch this carefully. Let's go ahead and put a trend line from the high here to right there. So if it does gap up or continue on, we have this here as resistance plus the 100-day that's coming down in this area. We are oversold, or excuse me, overbought. For some reason I don't want to say oversold, but it's overbought. We are above this trend line right here. MACD, we got the positive momentum above the zero line here. However, momentum is now slowing down. You can see the green bar is getting less and less. So we'll have to wait and watch this carefully. Going back to the S&P here, I didn't put this other trend line, so we're going to go ahead and put this trend line here, which it tagged today. As you can see, it tagged it right there at the very top and then pulled back here. Next possible trend line could be right up in this area, but this is where the 100 is also coming in to meet. So this is going to be a very interesting week to see if we continue up a little higher or we get that pullback here. Let's go ahead and take a look at our trades here that we've got in play real quick. Costco here, we went ahead and got out once we saw it coming down price. We figured we'd just get out and got out for a 1% gain here. So we're going to go ahead and put 1% real quick. And so we got out here with a positive 1% here, which is good. So we're going to take that off of the video now. Looking at the gold here, this is getting very tiring here, waiting for gold to possibly break down. We're getting this. Let me move this here. All right. It's pulling down here. Probably going to meet the 20-day moving average before considering going higher. So we'll have to see. This if it breaks below this 20-day moving average, then we'll go ahead and get out of this position here. As you look here, we are getting close to the oversold area here, and the MACD is now below the zero line. We still got the red bars here. So basically, when I put in the second position right here, we were still under here. So kind of gotten a little ahead of the game, and that's what happens when you jump the gun ahead of your signals here, because sometimes they don't play out as quick as you were hoping for. Looking at the energy here, to short leverage 3 times. We went ahead and bought right here at the close of yesterday, and today it gapped down, put a little star down here at the bottom. We are oversold, and the MACD is below the zero line, meaning it's showing weakness. The good thing, we're seeing the red bars now slowly inching up to the zero line, and hopefully we'll get a green bar coming in tomorrow, the next few days here. If it does close somewhere below this point here, which if you follow the red line to your left, it's 1575. So if we close below there, then that's where I'll just call it quits. Financials, FAZ to short 3 times. We put a first position here, second position here, and now we're just waiting. We did get this hammer down here, which is good. We like to see that. Uh, we are oversold on the RSI, and the MACD is below the zero line, where we normally like to look for entries. Uh, red bars are slowly inching up as well, so hopefully we'll see what happens. As far as our exits here, we pretty much, if we close below this tail here on the close, then we'll go ahead and just get out of the trade. Las Vegas Sand, LVS, here we put in a short. It did gap up, but it fell down, and here we're trading. We have not triggered to get out to confirm, so we're going to go ahead and wait. We are extremely overbought. It's now curving below here, which is good. We like to see. MACD is above the zero, and the green bars are now becoming smaller and smaller, so this may roll over and drop back down. Shorting NASDAQ here, where we put a position late at the day yesterday, right there. We did gap down, and you can see we're oversold at this area here for this ETF, and the MACD is below the zero line while the bars are going up in direction. Hopefully we'll get the green bars pretty soon. SDS and SPXU, pretty much the same pattern. They're both shorting the S&P. Here if we close below today's low, then we'll consider throwing in the towel and getting out. And here we are, very oversold. MACD is now look like it wants to cross over these lines, while the histogram bars, these red bars, are now starting to inch to the upside. So we'll have to wait and see on this. And then finally, TZA, shorting the small caps. This one here we put already 3 positions, 1 position here, another one on this day, and one today. We put one here. It's now showing oversold, and so we're waiting for the bars to turn green here to confirm that we're getting momentum back to the upside here. Again, sometimes getting a little too early of your signals will cause extra pain and frustration, so it kind of gives you a reminder that usually you should best wait for your trigger signals to appear before considering getting in. So, but that's part of learning and learning from your mistakes, and hopefully stay disciplined and focused as far as not entering too soon as I have. Well, that's it for now. Until next time, keep your eyes on the markets, and remember to put in your stops, and this way your emotions will stay out. Until next time, take care.